Yeah. Okay. So I am going to start with welcome everyone to our second episode of our Dreams of Droaam campaign. Last time our delegation got started, had left the city of Greywall before it was ambushed by gargoyles, harpies, people on giant vultures,
Oh my.
all kinds of chaos, as well as some people being thrown into the river and being taken downriver by fish people there. And so, I guess to start us out, I wanted to do something a little bit different to kind of like give us a little bit of information about each of the characters before we kind of jump into it. So I guess you guys have just kind of been ambushed, taken by surprise. I'd kind of like to go around and have each of you just kind of introduce your character briefly and tell us about a time in your character's past in which they've been like surprised or almost ambushed, and maybe not, as major of a way. It can be a small moment, just something they've experienced. And I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with Sam.
Why?
Because I'm looking at the stream, and when I look right under me,
Oh
you're
my
there.
Why?
So Sam, tell us about Selene to start.
She's human. She's from House Cannith, but she's representing Southern House. She has no interest in politics, but is here anyway because it's her duty.
Cool.
Yeah, she's always carrying around her giant hammer and is more ready to wear her fighty armor when meeting new people than just saying hello.
Her fighty armor.
Yeah. She kind of has resting bitch face all the time and resting bitch voice. She's just not a people person. I mean, last time she was surprised by something, it was in the lab when something she was working on blew up. She's not really used to being attacked on the road.
Sure. This is a big change of pace for her.
Yeah.
I'm going to put back on this tune just while we get through this part, actually. Okay, sticking it. Okay. I can appreciate that. Blown up in the lab. What about you, Bartholomew?
Bartholomew Maximilian Kelly. He is human. He is a man with a mysterious and troubled past. Found himself in machinations quite above himself. A time that he found himself surprised would probably be a time that he was, found himself surprised in a couple of different places, ambushed by. What was the prompt again specifically?
Just another time in your life where you've been ambushed or surprised. It might be just like somebody kind of like surprising you with a secret. It could be, attacked by bandits or mugged. Be anything that in that vein.
Yes. There was one time that Bartholomew was traveling outside of Brelith. And he was traveling with a group of bodyguards that seemed as if they were a bit more up and up on the level, but it turns out they were a bit more fiendish and more hungry for Bartholomew's coin than they were for his safety and his well-being. So they left him beaten, broken in the dirt, and he had to take care of himself from then on. But that never broke his kind spirit.
Of course. All right. What about our elven giant, Sirius?
Sirius is a massive humanoid. Very large pointy ears. He is an elf in ancestry, but the only thing that really stands out is the fact that he's just has really pointy ears and he's massive. That's the only of his elf traits that stand out. When he was younger, about 30 years ago, he's used to surprises, he's used to fights, he's used to battles, campaigns, all that stuff. It's nothing really interesting there. Standard ambush things, being ambushed, doing the ambushing. But there was one time 30 years ago where his little brother pulled a prank on him. And his little brother was somehow involved. But basically one day we were at court and this beautiful woman kept doting on me. And, well, sorry, let me get into character voice. And this young lady was doting on me. It was all night. Father was very interested in enjoying the company. And one day we started, late in the evening after dinner, after all of the fanfare, after all of the talks, we went into our own balcony and we were talking and enjoying the night. And the one time I started to take a chance, I leaned in. I kissed this beautiful elven lady, which my father would be very, very happy that I'm doing. 5 seconds later, she starts cackling, and in an instant, turns back into my younger brother. His name is Silas.
Dude, you kissed your brother.
Dude. No, I'm
Dude,
even,
what is going on in that house?
I'm even more upset about the fact that Silas was like egging him on and like trying to get him to do that. That's the fact that Sirius had to do that. Nowhere near as bad as Silas being like, "Ooh, kiss me, big boy." The implication there is so much worse.
Real Southern house.
All right, let's pop over to Requisitioner.
Sure. Requisitioner is a very tall warforged. He was created for to fight in the last war, and he was a frontline guardsman. Huge shield affixed to his left hand. No weapon directly in his right hand, but his arm actually transforms into his weapon, which is a flail. He has been around the block, as you can probably guess, having actually fought in the war. But I guess one of the biggest surprises was probably when Seer kind of exploded and turned into the Mournlands, because that was his old base of operations, and he sort of had to learn to live with that and cope and start his own new life after the closing of the war, because that was his whole purpose basically. And now he's just very serious about taking charge and making sure that he can protect anybody he can. And in this case, that would be Bartholomew and Selene.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Last but not least, Raven. Or actually, Requisitioner, did you tell us about a time when you were ambushed?
Oh, I mean, during the war, right? It's
Sure.
tons of ambush experience. But,
Just in battle.
Yeah, in battle. I mean, you always have to sort of be expecting something. And this, I think, honestly, this is one of the more surprising ambushes, because there hasn't really been a whole lot of scuttlebutt or anything about people super upset about what's going on here, except for little whispers. So I don't think anybody was really expecting, except for maybe one person, was expecting anything to happen in this delegation.
Sure. All right. And then last but not least, Raven.
All right, so she actually has spent the last few years, several years, in Shea Mordai, was it? I think it's Mordai. I need to double check again. But either way, Elven City. And so around in that time, she kind of kept to herself, so she didn't really have a lot of problems with ambushes there. And she hasn't seen a lot of combat in general, so this is it's a little bit of a new experience. The only thing that she can really equate it to is when she was younger, like just a child. She should not have been running around the forest on her own, but of course she was. And she knew it had been a hard winter, and she knew that she was supposed to be paying attention to her surroundings, and she got distracted. And next thing she knew it, there were three very scraggly wolves that just came upon her. And she, being so young, did not have good control of her magic, and after trying to summon a fire that sputtered out pretty quickly, the only thing she could do was run. She had to run back to the house that she shared with her mother and had to have her mother beat off the wolves because she simply did not have the capability to do it, and her mother never let her live it down. She had to deal with the kind of scathing reminders to always be vigilant, to always be aware of everything, and to never let her guard down.
Right on. Well, with that, I think we are going to open up our scene. The rain has started back up, though lightly. The smell is musky and wet. As you guys are inside of now a tent set up on your side of the bridge after its collapse. The Knoll Rex, the Blackford Knoll that you guys talked to and has been kind of your guide and go-to for this, is looking over a map in front of him and a table that's been hastily set up for you. He's looking down at it and kind of like scratching at his jaw a little bit, and looks up at you guys. And this is kind of, you guys have had your letters now for maybe about an hour or so. A lot of the Knolls have kind of gotten people healed up and bandaged, and there's now tents and camps being set up for those people still alive and around, basically, while they work to repair the bridge. So Rex is looking at this map, looks up at you, and is just like, I hope your letters were informative.
Not really.
A little mysterious.
Well, my instructions seemed clear that you would be headed for looking for delegates. The ones that are now missing.
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do? I was gonna go work on the bridge. I'd like to get moving.
Must this fall upon us?
By the order of Sora Taraza, I suppose so. Our job is to get the rest of these delegates to the crag, but you five are supposed to work to recover him. I was told my men were supposed to stay back and not seek any delegates that may be lost to ambush.
Is Sora Taraza like a well-known figure?
So Sora Taraza is one of the well, actually, why don't you guys make me
I'd love to roll a history check.
history check, or arcana check would also be applicable. Okay.
Oh, no.
So I would say all of you have heard of Sora Taraza and recognize her as one of the three daughters of Sorakel, which are the current rulers of Droaam. Raven, Solane, both of you guys are in series. So yeah, you guys generally know the idea of Sora Taraza pretty well. All three hags are kind of used as these like boogeymen of sorts, tell stories. Sorokatra will come to you in your dreams. Soramania will eat your skull if you run too far out into the woods, kind of thing. Just like little horror stories that they tell kids to kind of keep them in line. Sora Traz is a little different. She's probably the most mysterious of the daughters, and she's known to be blind, but also to have perhaps one of the greatest, to be one of the greatest living oracles on Eberron. I think that is generally what you guys know about her. I think Requisitioner knows she's one of the daughters of Sorakel, and that's probably about it. But
Good job, buddy.
and I think Solane, I think you also know, perhaps just from like stories from Brellish Cannith artificers that have kind of fought on the lines and stuff like that, or that have dealt with some of the hags or the daughters of Sorakel. Sora Taraza is known for never lying. She doesn't always. You don't always know what her goal is. Like some people actually think she might be kind of mad, actually, but the things she says are never lies. If that means anything. So.
Well, I'd hate to make a liar out of her now. All right, let's go. Hell.
Go where? Seems like the delegations are over if they're not even going to take place.
Yeah, and
We're just missing 2 people. It's not that difficult.
Did you not see all the other birds fly away with who knows how many others?
No one was killed, however.
Just feels like a lot without knowing anything.
Oh yeah, down here.
But it's
Rex kind of.
raining.
That's the part that's worrying him.
Wait a second.
Yeah, Kaylin is standing like kind of right behind you, Siri. She steps up, spear kind of like still gripped in hand, and she says, "That's right. This whole thing's pretty much over. If we can't get everyone to the crag, the bridge is out." And so.
Oh no, a broken bridge. Whatever will we do?
Perhaps you could fix it, Lady Selene.
I've been trying to.
The Knoll Rex kind of just like shakes his head, and you hear him give like a little high growl, like he's like, the bridge is being worked on. I've got gnolls.
So slowly.
I've got gargoyles helping. It'll be done soon. A day or so. But until then, the longer we wait, the farther the delegation gets. You can camp here for the night if you want and leave in the morning, but my orders were clear. You were to set off for the delegation, or for the delegates. It's the only way they'd be found. And I was told you'd go willingly.
To serve and protect.
Yeah, what he said.
Well, I do have one other errand here, so let's go.
Oh, are you sure, Vidalia? You good?
Raven would like to check on her elven companion and see how he's doing after nearly being carted off by a vulture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys actually managed to save him. Yeah, so
from the brink of death.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Theravol's kind of like, he's not even paying attention to this like conversation. He's just sitting in the corner. He's got like a blanket over his shoulders, and he's holding like this kind of hot cup of tea, and he just looks kind of miserable. You can see he's kind of like staring down at his tea, like, why have I come here? Kind of like face.
Relatable.
But he kind of like looks up and says, "Well, I will be headed home, I think. Right, Raven? We have no need to stay here. These people can't even protect us."
I don't know if it escaped your notice, but you would have been carted off if not for them. I wasn't able to do much about anything to help you.
I mean, we could always call the giant bird back.
I literally do this to my finger. Just, you know.
He kind of shakes his head and says, "Fine, I'll go with the caravan to the crag.
There you go.
Just be careful. I'm not heading out into the wilderness of Droaam."
So you have no complaints if I go, though?
He thinks for a moment and like glances up at you and looks down at his tea. He says, "Yeah, your mother will have my hide, but I know there's no changing your mind, so bah."
So glad to have your blessing.
And walk over to Kaylin and whisper in her ear. Go ahead and go to the crag. Keep quiet. Listen to everything. Let's see whose side is actually going to win here.
Yeah. You say to Scala, and you see her glance at you, and you could tell, I think, by her look, you know her well enough that she doesn't like this order. She doesn't like the idea of kind of like leaving you here, but she is an ever loyal Valinar warrior, and she kind of just gives you a curt nod and says, "Yes, Prince. Your will be done." And she grips her spear and marches out into the rain.
John, might I add, I love her accent.
Right?
Just outstanding.
Absolutely, baby.
Yeah, for doing the Valinars with Southern.
I'm all for
Southern Corvairs, Southern anyway. Run with it.
I am curious where Bartholomew is from.
it. Here, there, everywhere. The roads are truly my home, brother.
Yeah.
So
There's a
guys-
south
The wind
in
blows me
every
where it
area.
wants to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just
God,
depend-
silence in every area is
It just
terrifying.
depends on whichever way you hold the map. Honestly, turn it around.
Well-
I'm from the north.
Yeah, well, Breland and Valinar are both on the southern half of Corvair, so we can kind of say like rural area, which Valinar is much more rural and spread out than Breland is, but there's still some rural areas. So it makes sense in our Eberron. All right, yeah. So you guys are basically Rex is kind of like looking at this map and he says,
I'm not sure which delegation you'll want to go to first, but it's possible they went a few different directions. I'm not sure they were all working together.
How many of them do we actually have to rescue? Is it like what? What, Bart?
Lady Selene,
I'm just asking if one and done is good enough, okay?
Listen, I'm all for letting live and let die. I'm all for it, and I fully understand if you can't make it out here, you can't make it nowhere. But I do believe it does kind of fall on us based on what I'm assuming is within y'all's letters and was in mine as well. Listen, I've made enemies in my life. Making enemies of a truth-telling, all-seeing hag lady is the last thing I'm gonna be putting on my long list of mistakes. Is what I'm gonna tell you right now.
Fine.
he says,
So far, reported we have Bruldenthar, the dwarven delegate from the Moorholds, Tolan from the Zalargo delegation, and an elf by the name of... hold on. What was that name? Let me look at this paperwork here.
Yeah, elf names.
You
elf
got
names
you got
are
rain
hard.
on
It's
it. There's a
okay.
leak in the thing. So it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't an elf actually. It's a half orc, one of the gatekeepers, a druid.
Won't he be fine? Can't he just turn into like a bird or something and get away?
Maybe she'll escape. She was with the front half of the caravan.
Perhaps finding this druid would be useful for us. If she can scout, then we can spend more time looking for a certain delegation while she tries to find a different one.
Bart, didn't we leave Talone in the carriage with you? What happened?
Was it in my carriage or was it?
Yeah, we were all riding with him. Requisitioner and I went up on the roof. You were still in there with him.
Talone. I plumb forgot. It's been a stressful day. Can't say I remember.
You remember that funny-looking green man? He was so small. Perhaps you missed him.
Blanking on a Talone. Cannot remember for the life of me.
Sorry, John. His token had him as like green.
I did.
Fair.
I remember a funny-looking short fella, but I'm fairly certain
That was Talone.
Didn't we drop him off halfway down the
No.
line?
No. It's fine.
Beats me. Well, he's not here now, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe he ran away.
Yeah, maybe.
Used you as a distraction or something.
I can be quite distracted now. I didn't tell you that.
He says, or Rex kind of like just grunts and says,
There's tents available if you want or need them to sleep, or you can stay in wagons.
Have any of the wagons escaped being destroyed?
Most
I
of
could
them,
fix one easily.
yeah, most of them have holes in the roofs, but if you can fix them, then there you go. Or you just sleep under them.
In the mud.
Keeps you cool.
He's got
Mine
one.
does not have holes, so I'm going to go ahead and go in there and take a nap.
shrugs and says,
Well, do what you want. Are you leaving in the morning then?
Well, the faster we find one, the faster we find all of them. So whichever way we go, it doesn't matter.
Let's just go now.
I feel the question must be asked, who all needs a rest of some sort? How's everyone feeling? We got into a bit of a scrap back there, but how we looking? How we feeling?
I could stand to recharge some of my mana.
I could still yell.
What time is
That's
it?
all I need.
Yeah, what?
it's, I'm going
Late
to say it's
afternoon.
like late afternoon, yeah. You guys were attacked after lunch, gone a couple hours after that. And,
Can we get some of those meat buns to go?
Oh, yeah.
he barks and says,
Grumsh, give him to him. Get some of the the troll rations, the grist.
and you see a kind of like smaller knoll like reaches into a pack and pulls out like several wrapped buns and hands them to you, probably about a half dozen.
Perfect. And then we'll need some for everyone else too.
Rex says, that's what you get. You could probably find more food in the towns, wherever you head.
All right, fine.
Well, since it is early, let's go ahead and go and move on. Go ahead and add a couple hours to our journey.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, this is kind of opened up. You also have your prisoners still that you guys managed to capture.
yeah.
I'll say it's in like another tent.
Oh, we have prisoners.
The guy that was flying on the giant
Yeah.
vulture.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
I
he
thought
just
he died
died.
on impact.
Yeah.
He was dying until Bartholomew reached out and touched him and stabilized him.
There was 2 people on the vulture. There was the vulture, the dude that got picked up, and then the
Yeah.
flyer.
Yes.
They're both alive?
Yeah, unless I misunderstood. Oh, yours doing spare the dying on
no.
he
Therbald.
he healed
I
healed
healed
Therbald.
him with
Healed
one of my
Therbald.
I
healing
could
light
if he was not dead, I would have used spare the dying on him.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say yes. The way I understood the scene played out, that you guys, he was breathing,
I
but
thought he was
unconscious at the end.
splat.
Yeah.
I thought his body was just like, nope.
No, he's definitely has like some broken bones, but he is still alive.
Okay.
And they pretty much just have him like strapped by himself in a chair, like in a separate tent.
Well, we might as well get started with this one to figure out where we should go first, unless anybody has any better ideas. I am open.
Seeing as he was a gentleman that was flying a rather large carrion, and he seemed to know who he was grabbing and where he was going, I think it'd be a pretty good idea to start with him as well.
I don't disagree. Is he awake?
Yeah, you guys kind of leave, head to find him. Yeah, you head to that tent. He is awake, sitting in the center of the tent.
I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna take my hammer and I'm gonna chuck it right between his legs.
Okay. I will say, as you guys kind of are walking over here, oh, you guys do me a favor, actually. I didn't have you do this before, but in your display name, will you put your AC and passive perception for me? Just AC.
You do want that? Okay.
Yeah.
AC and PP, baby.
It tends to be the
It's my
passive
favorite
perception
things.
specialist.
I'm gonna replace that with my name. If that's fine.
ACPP?
Yeah, that works.
Hey, what up, it's your
Hey,
boy,
man.
ACPP.
It's your boy, ACPP.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, passive perception is the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, your pee-pee.
Which is just 10 plus whatever your perception modifier is in your skills, typically.
There
Unless you have some
there
feat
should
or
be a
something
box
modifies it.
underneath your all your
There's a
skills.
passive wisdom for me. I don't see passive perception though.
There should be perception right next to
Under
it. Passive
all
wisdom
your-
perception.
Under all of your skills, it'll say passive perception parentheses wisdom.
Yeah,
It says passive wisdom
Yeah.
with perception in
Yeah,
parentheses.
yes.
That's
It's
correct.
Perception.
Yes.
Oh
Passive
yeah, I read it backwards.
Hmm?
I have glasses.
yeah. You guys do notice, as you are Selene especially, that as you guys are walking to this tent, Vanifer is kind of standing in the doorway of the wagon that she was in, just kind of like leaning against it, casually playing with her dagger in her hand and watching you guys as you head to this tent.
Want to join in the fun?
You ask her.
Yep.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh Jesus! All right, my specialty.
She thinks for a moment, and she gets like a small smile and shrugs, and she says, "Sure, why not?" And steps down and begins following you.
Vanifer was the
Tiefling.
tiefling, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, she is one of the Droamish warlords representing her own clan here. And yeah, so as you guys head inside the tent, this guy, he still has like this kind of like leather mask covering a chunk of his face. His leg is broken and just kind of like sitting, dangling in this chair. And he's tied up, bound, bleeding from a couple of spots. And he kind of like looks up at you with this bruised, bleeding face and says, I'm not talking. I told the Knoll the same thing.
I pick up my
You're
hammer.
talking right now.
I pick up my hammer, and I blind on the it's all blunt edges. So the side of my hammer, I take him, I hit him in the broken leg.
Okay.
And then if it does damage and makes him go down again, I'm going to use spare the dying on him.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll the damage. Or roll an attack out and go ahead and roll damage as well.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. Yeah. You slam your hammer. You kind of like you try to like gently tap it, right? You're not trying to hit him too hard, but you hit it and he just goes and he like just passes out like immediately.
And I reach on his chest and I electrocute him a little bit, which is how my spare the dying works. It's literally just a what's that thing called? A defibrillator, yeah.
It's called a gentle touch.
And then I look, and then
Mama never to piss big boy off.
Honestly.
Yeah, and you see this leg that was already broken is now like.
Sticking the other.
Yeah.
Do I notice anything about his person that would give about where he's from?
I actually already know that.
Yeah, so
I did a perception check while he was in the air. He's from House Vidalis.
Well, it would seem that we already know where to go. I was just having a little fun.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I take his mask off.
all right, yeah, you do so. Looks to be a human, a man, middle-aged. He's got like some gray in his hair, bit of a receding hairline.
If I turn and look on the inside of his mask, did he write his name on it so it wouldn't get confused with the other cultist mask?
No, there's no name written on the inside of it.
Billy.
Right?
Only.
That
You
was
seem
worth a shot.
out of place for being in Droaam, don't you?
Rex, he's unconscious.
Yeah,
Brought it back. Do you not?
to spare the dying
Spare
keeps
the
him
dying.
from dying, but he's still unconscious unless somebody heals him.
I know it's hard to tell sometimes. It's okay, buddy.
As I said, let's just bring him with us and we can grab information along the way. We already know where we need to go.
He's already here. Do you want to carry a bleeding, mangled man? He can't walk on his own, thanks to you.
Well, I have
Maybe you would
a
have
steam.
thought about that a little bit more. You want him
Again.
to bleed all over your horse?
Animals doesn't mind. She actually kind of likes it.
That's
that's
disturbing
creepy.
in a lot of ways, more than one, my friend.
Out of curiosity, where would the nearest location to access the houses be?
Yeah, so the houses don't have a lot of presence in Droaam. House Thrashk does, the bounty hunters, because they used a lot of them during the war, used a lot of the goblins and monsters here. But the other houses have a very token representation in Droaam, if at all. So I would say you'd need a straight intelligence check just to know off the top of your head where House of Dallas would have any established area here.
I would like to try an intelligence check.
Okay, go ahead.
But even then, for some of the houses, they wouldn't be actively advertising, hey, we're set
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah, so this is a difficult
Come on
DC
down.
Yeah,
because
that
this
was
is
a bad roll.
because most of the houses are not, like you said, actively
Yeah.
advertising where they're
So bad roll.
at. Sure. So, Vannifer, I think, pipes up and says, "Oh, you know where you're going? Where? I'd love to hear."
Yeah, actually, same.
Oh, fine.
This third.
Bartholomew, you seem like you are a good talker.
Talking and leading are two completely different. Well, I don't know where the fuck we're going.
So, are you a good talker? It seems like you are.
I can mince a word or two.
Well, have you ever
Boring.
played Good God, Bad God?
I'd prefer not to play God.
God.
Guard.
God,
what I
like
said.
like a defensive person, like a bodyguard.
I'm still getting God. Like oh holy, how art thou?
God.
The more
Have you ever had a
say-
god in your lifetime? Am I the only civilized one here?
I'm a bit more agnostic, honestly.
Oh.
I'm not dropping this joke.
That's pretty good.
No, Elaine's finally catching
I'm
on
surrounded.
and-
Why does this always happen to me? All right, I'm gonna walk over to him and I'm going to get behind him. Sit. Oh, is there?
Oh, no,
I'm
something
gonna
Bomb
pull
went
up-
off. We're done. We're out.
I
Thanks,
know.
guys,
I'm
for
gonna bring a
coming.
chair
to
behind
the-
him. I'll bring a chair behind him. I'll whisper in his ear. Use a healing. Like I will literally use a healing word on him for this reason,
Okay.
just to wake him up.
Yeah.
And once he wakes up, I'll say, I can do this again all day. Now, unless you listen to my acquaintances right here and let us know where you are taking him, we're going to have a round robin where you're going to keep being in pain, passing out, waking up. Does that sound fun?
It doesn't.
Yeah. Now tell my
Nice
friends
math,
here
by the way.
where you were taking your captive.
Give me an intimidation check, seriously.
Can I use my strength?
You can use strength if you want. You can do this at advantage.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna use a strength roll because it's easier.
Oh,
Ooh,
baby.
Damn.
baby.
Not 20, huh? Okay.
Thank you. That was worth the spell.
Lord Jesus.
So he says, oh, all right, I'll tell you. Jesus, you guys are crazy. Even the gnolls would torture me.
Jesus.
Oh, Silver Flame.
That's right. It's a small subset cult. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a prophet of the Silver Flame. You don't know.
You don't know.
He's really underground.
He pipes up and says, look, I don't know where all the delegates were taken. We were told to take them back to our tower.
More.
He kind of he says, well, we have a tower northeast of the Great Crag. We nicknamed it Feathergale Spire.
How cute.
And who is at this tower?
It's House Vidal's stronghold. Marasca de Vidalis is in charge.
How many men there?
Dozens.
Fun.
Do I believe that dozens?
Give me an insight check.
I don't believe that. I'll take one too.
I don't know. Dozens doesn't sound like that many.
Oh shit! Well, dozens. I mean, it's
That is between
an
like
amount.
I don't believe it at all.
24 and like 144. So
Well,
it could be a lot. You're right.
It could be an amount.
Oh, Raven.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, Selene, you're thinking he means like nearly 100 probably are filling this tower and kind of feels perhaps a little bit intimidating. Raven, you think he means maybe 24?
Oh.
He's trying to like bluster somewhat.
Slane's just trying to figure out how to siege this tower in the background, just like, well, could build a siege weapon.
Now, is there some sort of like?
Raven, since she
Hmm.
Raven has to be like, okay. She notes that Selene is trying real hard to try and figure this out, and I just have to input with, I think it's a lot less than you think it is. He is trying to make it sound like there's a lot of people there, and there's definitely not.
So I'm not building a trebuchet.
I don't think we need to siege the tower,
We may
no.
need a trebuchet later.
Yeah, I might still build the trebuchet. I'm gonna just
You
start.
can just build trebuchet.
Do you want to cart a trebuchet around with us the entire way?
Look, it's
It could
it's the
come in
gargoyles you
handy.
want.
Listen,
not
I
us.
I enjoy brute force as much as the next one, but Where did this trebuchet come from?
I could build one.
She just makes it,
Fine.
apparently.
You can.
I used
we-
to make weapons for the war. It's
we-
fine.
Okay. Well, we can shelf that, and that sounds
All
fun.
right.
I'm
Previous-
sorry
One at a time.
about the gargoyles, Billy.
Previous war crimes, notwithstanding, the gargoyles that we want.
Yeah, I mean, did we even get away with anybody? You knocked me off my damn bird before I could. I don't think the harpies got anybody. We weren't
Check.
working with the gargoyles. Seemed like they got most of them.
You mean to tell me that there were maybe multiple different groups of people in a coordinated ambush, trying to grab delegates and bring them off to separate places without working together? You coordinated a place and a time, a broken bridge, a series of boats underneath, an assault from the air, an assault from below, without coordinating together.
Actually, really impressive.
He
I
says
just
that-
watched Knives Out recently, and I'm just,
That's where your accent is from.
I'm trying to emulate it. It's not. It's,
Oh, you must have come to Valinor and seen that. We premiered there. It was a very good movie.
You mean play?
I'm gonna say, Raven, you've got a good read of this guy generally. I think you notice, you're fairly insightful here. You notice that like he's pushed here by Bartholomew. He looks like he wants to shut up, glances back at Sirius, and then he like gives a quick glance towards Vanifer before he just shakes his head and is just like, it's a bit of a temporary truce more than anything.
There seems to be some sinister motivations here. I'm sorry, Bartholomew. Excuse my interruption.
It's absolutely fine.
Is there some sort of like
I noted the look, but I'm not
Password.
going to say anything.
key to get into this tower?
Any back doors to speak of?
No back doors. There's only one way. Unless
Okay.
you can fly.
What's the password to get in?
Give me 14 levels.
Oh, I see.
Hey, D&D joke.
He kind of frowns a little bit and says, just tell them you're there to join up.
And what's your name? I imagine you get a credit for this sort of thing, right? Your next month's rent paid. What is it?
I'd rather you didn't use my name for this.
What's your name?
I'm really starting to like this guy. He's endearing.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I know.
I think we found our third character for this.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, are you gonna tell them about that? You're not gonna tell them I told you anything, right?
You know, I am not a liar out of many things that I am. I absolutely am going to tell them.
No, we will never. No.
Oh man.
Listen. Anything said in this tent is full confidence.
You sure your big friend's gonna listen to that?
My friend, I'm
This
not
guy's
sure.
so cute. Look at him. He's so.
I'm not sure that my big, as he called me, associate, is controllable in any way, shape, or form. You know, I get down like kind of on his level, like rich people. They kind of just they think they own the place. They don't worry about people like us trying to just get by. You know,
Oh, my family's actually really rich.
you're not really fucking helping your case, Richard. I'm trying to help you here.
I can hear
Down
you,
and pat his
Bartholomew.
I know.
leg. I mean,
I
can't-
appreciate what you're doing, though. Keep going.
Can I just have a minute alone with my client here?
Client?
Yeah,
I feel like
client privileges
I'm
or
gonna kick his
something.
leg a little bit, but I'm sorry. He's your he's apparently your lawyer and your advocate. Please pay him.
I believe that I'm the only one at this point fighting for the man.
Probably.
Everyone
I
else.
mean, I was fine with just leaving him after this. We know where we need
Everyone else wants to see him dead, and I want to see if I can put him at peace. That we're not just a band.
I never
of,
said that. I'd like to see what would happen if we left him to the mercy of his previous employers.
leaving him for dead. He's already said
Yes.
enough to make him culpable to death. Unless I can help you in so many ways, of course. All right, that was the second aside was to him.
Yeah. He says, all right. My name's Frank.
Oh no. We've been torturing Frank. Just putting it in my notes.
You should have just called him Jonathan. Made it real personal.
Oh, then we wouldn't want to kill him.
We love it.
I know. I bet it was like, oh, wait a second.
All right, Frankie. But seriously, everyone, can I have a moment alone with
You sure you're gonna be okay?
I summoned the gun. Like I'm good.
No one knows what that is. By the way,
and
it's not that. It's just
You-
weird.
you
It's not that
sounded
intimidating.
blue
Like you
today.
are flailing around like it is intimidating.
It disappears real quick out of my hand. Like it comes and goes. It's open door policy. I don't know what it is either.
I have a question.
Hmm.
What was her name?
Vannifer?
Jennifer. Does she look like she's planning to leave at his request?
Yeah, she'll walk out.
Okay, then I'm willing to go out as well.
I put a little hand on Frank's shoulder and I say,
It's going to be okay.
I think
I cast Spare the Dying on him again just as I leave, just for fun.
I give him a single point of lay on hands.
nice. It's like, oh, thanks, man.
I
And I
swing my
clap his
hammer on.
shoulder and I take the point away.
Oh. I just swing my hammer onto my shoulder and just look at him. If he gets hurt, broken leg's gonna be the least of your worries.
I'm tied up. I have no weapons.
I don't give a damn. If he trips and scrapes his knee, it's on you.
I just start checking out her hammer.
Come, Lady Selene, let's draw up the plans for that trebuchet.
Yeah, no, I think I've got some good plans. I'll walk out with them, showing them.
I'm more impressed that I've endeared myself to this group so quickly.
Raven, you do
He
know.
says to himself.
Give me another insight check since you're kind of like watching Vannifer as she heads out here.
Not as good as the first, but
Yeah, you can tell that she seems actually happy with the turn of events. Like she has like this little smile on her face. I think it's about all you can tell, but she definitely seems like content with the turn of the way events are playing out. Basically,
interesting.
Because she likes Bart too. She likes seeing us all protective of him.
Yeah. So yeah, Bart, you're sitting here in this tent. What are you doing?
I get down like on one knee and I get like on his level and I say, listen, that giant oaf of a man doesn't speak for me, thankfully.
He's so big.
He's huge. I've seen elves before in my time, my man, but he is something else. I want to help you. Being a prisoner in no way, shape, or form is a way that any man should go out. If you're going to go out, you should go out, on your feet. No one should die in the wilds or in a cell or tied to a chair in a tent in the rain in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's horrible. But if you find yourself amenable to help me out with a little bit of information, of getting into this tower safely so we can get our delegates back. So we can just walk away from this scot-free like it's nothing. Then maybe I could help you. And I open up my jacket a little bit and I show him that I have a dagger just poked in there in the side of my coat. And I'm like, maybe I'll look away and walk out of this tent a little bit lighter than the way I walked in. Those ropes keeping you bound don't look too thick.
Make me a persuasion check, and you can do it with advantage. Or deception if you feel it would be more relevant.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. So he tries like one more time to. He's like, "It's really the gargoyles you want, man. But look, we have a secret sign for those that are in the know. All right. You just gotta do this." And he kind of like shows you this hand sign. He says, if you flash that sign, they'll think you're one of us, or at least, you know, at least in the know, you know.
I know. I got you. Would you say that I had the insight enough to know that he was somewhat intimidated by the presence of the tiefling of Vanifer?
Give me an insight check.
Oh boy. It's 17.
I mean, as much as anybody else there.
Yeah.
You definitely seem to recognize her, but I think that's about all you can really tell.
This whole time I've been kind of just like getting a feel for this dude. And you're sure there's nothing else that we need to know? Like, can you tell me where the prisoner is being kept?
I'm not even sure if we got any prisoners, man. I'm not sure where we would keep him in the tower. I could tell you where the gargoyles might have prisoners. And he kind of like smiles hopefully up at you.
Would you be willing to tell me that?
If it meant you weren't going to the spire, yeah.
Make me a wisdom save. No, wait, hold on. Let me make sure that it's the right one. Yeah, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. One moment, please.
I don't get the impression Frank is particularly wise.
Yeah, let me see what Frank's wisdom's got.
At 20, here we go. Come on, Frankie.
Where are you, Frank? Okay.
Frankie, baby.
He's actually in the D&D handbook as Frank.
Let's do this.
Just Frank.
CR 30, what the fuck?
Oh god, we've been torturing a god. This is Jesus!
It's got -1 wisdom modifier.
Poor guy.
He invoked himself?
He rolled a 7.
Cool. He fails my casting of Charm Person. Da 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 da.
Right on. Of course, he was
So,
friendly.
yeah, and I use the word willing just to see what would happen. As I'm talking to him, no one else gets to see this, unfortunately. This super sick thing that when I start talking to him, my voice becomes so much sugarier, and I should have put on a fucking voice filter thing for this, because it sounds like 30 or 40 other people with like beautiful like siren like voices are all saying this as sweetly as possible. Like every word is just like drenched and dipped in honey, and it's just that sweetest, just like, We're friends, aren't we?
Like, oh, brother, where art thou?
Absolutely. Tell me everything. Like just words on words on words, and it's just like the sweetest little siren song, just saying, absolutely. What do you know about the gargoyles? And who exactly do you work for? We're friends. Tell me everything.
Oh, well, like I told you, man, I work for Maraska. He's the boss. I do what he says. But the gargoyles, they've got some old monastery up in the mountains north of Grimstone Keep. You can't miss it. And I'm going to mark all these places that he has mentioned. This appears the tower. He says, the guys that grab prisoners in the water, I'm not sure where they're based out of, but they probably went south. Not really sure who their boss is. I just know they were part of the truce. Those dudes suck.
I agree. You agree. Those dudes totally do suck. What about the gargoyles? Who runs the gargoyles? Do you know who their boss is?
Go to sleep, little baby.
He says, I think it's one of the Medusas. I'm not really sure. That's the rumor I heard. But they also have a bunch of hobgoblins that are working with them, so who knows?
Medusas, gargoyles, hobgoblins. Oh my. I would like to. You don't mind if I take your belt buckle, do you? We're friends. You said you were gonna let me borrow it, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can borrow it.
Yeah.
I need it back, though. It's kind of like my family heirloom type thing.
Absolutely. I'll give it back to you, no problem. And I palm the mask and the belt buckle, all the while taking in the details of this guy, what he looks like, what his face looks like, what he's wearing, all these different things.
Yeah.
All right, Frank. Are you ready to run for your life?
I can't. There's no way I can run. I've got one fucking leg.
Frank, you got to listen to me. I'm the only one who can help you here in this camp. It's just me and you. I'll set up a diversion. You got to hobble away. You got to crawl away. You got to do whatever you can. These people, the second I leave, they're going to kill you.
Oh, fuck. All right, man.
I'm sorry. It's the way it's got to go. And I pull out my dagger, and I cut the ropes, and I give him the dagger. I say, you go ahead and lead. I'll be right behind you.
Oh, man. You see him kind of like limp up and get heading towards this, like the back of the tent, trying to like cut a hole in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you walk out. What are the rest of you guys doing? Like, have you kind of retreated different places, hanging out near the outside of the tent? You see Vanifer goes back to the wagon.
I'm gonna go with Vanifer.
Requisitioner and I are working on plans for a trebuchet.
I probably didn't want to go too far from the tent, so we could have probably just like pointed right outside.
Oh, hey!
I hung back near the tent also. I'm writing in my journal.
With an 18 passive perception, how much of all that did I hear?
I don't think you would have heard much of Bart. I think he was probably pretty quiet from what it seemed most of it. You probably like heard some complaining from him, like something about like I've only got one leg, man, like from Frank. But yeah. So you guys are hanging out for a minute while they have this conversation. Sirius, you come.
That's not my name,
It's the
sir.
first of many. It's the first of
Yeah,
many.
right?
He just
I didn't make this
Silas.
confusing at all, John. What are you
yeah.
talking about?
Sirius, you're kind of like following behind Vanifer. I think she kind of like slows down to walk, kind of in step with you, and she says, "So, what do you think? Will you be chasing after House Vidalis and killing vultures?"
Well, we will be chasing, and we will be killing. Where and who is still up to question.
Seems like a waste of time. I don't know why you go around doing the little chores of the daughters.
Venifer, I'm sure that you know that other people are useful,
Oh,
especially for your own gain.
So you have ulterior motives. Well, perhaps you're not as dumb as you look, then.
Well, Venifer, it seems like you had every ulterior motive in that fight. I hope you are comfortable.
I was very comfortable, yes. They wouldn't dare strike me.
Ah, what makes Venifer so untouchable?
Make me a persuasion check.
Should have done the lean in.
I have a -1
Arm over
charisma,
her.
so
Yeah. She shrugs and says,
I'm not hitting on her.
Yeah. She shrugs and says, I've recently made quite a name for myself as a warlord. I'm pretty well respected and well known among the monsters of Droaam.
Always good to know the warlords around. If you ever farther down, east and south, look me up.
I'll keep that in mind.
You sure he's not hitting on her?
Right?
This is very horny for just, just talking about where you're from.
Sirius
kind
is
of
not
talk.
Silas, okay? Dadgummit.
Nah, you could've
No,
fooled
we
me.
just kissed Silas.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's 6 sessions later.
Only one person here has asked someone to take their belt off. So
That's true.
First of many.
All right.
You
So-
sure you're not part bard?
Bartholomew comes out of the tent a minute or two later.
Ba, 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 da, 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 ba, ba.
Oh, no?
I help him cut the back,
Okay.
and then I let him get like a little bit of a head start, and then I bust out the front of the tent like, son of a bitch! Just like running out, like falling, tripping over myself. He pushed me over. He took my fucking dagger, and I just run around the tent, pull my gun, and I fire it and shoot him in the back.
Yes, good sir. Yes.
Roll the attack.
Wow.
I had the plan the whole time.
Wow.
No, I don't just walk out lackadaisically. No, I 100%. If I have the time, I'll use my bonus action to aim, but I'll probably just fire off a couple. I'll just be firing off pot shots to this limping man.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
Kill a man?
Oh no.
Yeah. So, yeah, you see Bartholomew stumbling out, points his gun, and, this guy just, Frank, drops full dead to the ground.
No, that's just cruel.
I just wipe off my jacket after like stumbling out and just like, God, son of a bitch. Can't trust nobody this side of Sean. I swear it. I swear it.
Especially not people with only one leg, right? And that's the most she's gonna do to call you out and go back to her trebuchet.
He was a strong
Alright.
man. He only needed one leg, but he only needed half a forearm to break out of those. He was lying the whole time. Almost had
Sirius
his
doesn't
way
care.
with me.
Oh my.
Excuse
Should
me?
we have given you more time?
I ignore that. I ignore it
I take that
fully. I
Is that
ignore
his
it.
belt?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I notice the belt?
I have tucked
I'm
that
sure
away.
it's-
I have tucked that away, homie. I got pockets on pockets on pockets. But I ignore them completely and go back and I grab my dagger and I how does it work? The whole like shepherding of souls thing. I kind of imagine it is like I take my gun and I open it up and I pop open like the cylinder, like so it's like out and then like it kind of just like sucks up his soul a little bit, like into the cylinder.
That works for me.
No.
It's just like a. Is it like?
Yeah.
Absorbed in.
And I close the gun, disapparate it real quick, grab my fucking dagger and put it back. And very quietly I say over him, it's like, it's nothing personal.
All right. So do you guys head out? Rest?
I mean, we can rest on the wagon. It's fine. Let's head out. I'd rather get this over with.
Where are we heading to first, though?
I
we
did
go
get
to that
some.
tower?
I did get some information. The tower, as we know, led by Marasca de Vidalis. It's Frank's boss. There he was. But then there's also the gargoyles, who we did see take off at least. I believe maybe the little green guy you were mentioning, possibly. Who knows?
The dwarf in my wagon also.
That dwarf, yeah. Potentially, they have a monastery up in the mountains, and they're led by some Medusas. And that hobgoblin that we saw on the road wasn't just a circumstantial happenstance. Seems to have been a scout watching our caravan go by to set up the ambush.
Knew I should have killed him.
That could
Anyway,
be-
where are we going?
Oh yes, what did you find? Should we go to this tower or somewhere else?
Well, let me pull out my handy dandy map that I assume that I have.
Yeah, Rex gave you guys a map for you to kind of mark stuff off and figure out where you are.
Okay, so Great Crag is right there. How much of the map is covered up by the parchment thing up there?
The northern part, not much. That's about as far north as it goes.
Okay.
It goes a little farther south, but
So where was the tower?
the tower is here.
Okay. And we are here.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Feels like we should maybe check out the monastery,
Yeah.
especially since there's possibly
What-
two.
Well,
I'm sorry. Which
this is
which one was the monastery? This one's the monastery, and this one's the tower.
This one's
Towers.
the little red X. The
I'm
red,
sorry. Thank you.
The red doesn't help as much in the deep brown map, but
That's fair.
oh,
Hey.
much better.
Well,
Great.
sounds like
Crag.
Sounds like we should go to the monastery and then the tower, or we should go to the monastery and then choose what route afterwards.
I mean, how long was it from Greywall to this point where we're at currently? Like a day?
Yeah, not long. It was most of a day.
But that was with a cart on a somewhat well-traveled
Well-
road.
We're
Don't-
taking one of the wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't my wagon? My wagon, I don't think is broken.
So
What was pulling the wagons?
They had horses, just like very like stocky. Is that right?
Draft horses.
Yeah.
thick-ass horses.
Yeah, so nowhere near as fast as like Animos or anything, but Okay, time.
Well, yeah, I can say faster time.
Yeah.
If all of us in one carriage, or all of us in one carriage, would be heavy.
Yeah.
The giant has his own horse, so. Sorry, half giant.
Either way.
Cool.
Maybe, I don't know. Medusa puts me off right quick. Just even the term, even the word itself seems gross. Not something I want to tango with this early in the day, let alone ever. But
Can I roll to see if I know anything about Medusas?
Yeah. Just be knowledge arcana, or yeah, I'm gonna say knowledge arcana.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, you don't know much. They've heard they turn people to stone. That's about it. Only heard them about them in kind of stories and legend. And I think like as you guys are discussing this and maybe kind of like figuring out your wagon situation, getting it prepped. Situation.
That's right.
You're approached by a young half-elf woman with silver hair, wearing like dark leathers, and she seems to be kind of walking from Rex's tent towards you. And she kind of like looks up, glances at all of you, and she says, so you're the one that Sora Taraza gave the letters to?
Technically.
Yes.
I mean, in kind of a roundabout fashion, but yeah.
She says, she puts out a hand, she says, can I have them? See what they say.
Would you have any insight, or do you just want to be a part of the group? You want to feel
Do you have
included?
a name?
What kind of vibes is this lady giving off?
Give me an insight check.
Vibe check?
Vibe check, yeah.
I love her. She's great.
Is that like a whole group vibe check, or?
I mean, anybody who's kind of like weighing her up and down can do that.
Yeah, I gladly will. Wow.
Let me pull up something
I don't
really-
fucking know. She's
looking
a
at
new
the thing.
person. I've already got my fighty armor on.
Your fighty armor. Cool.
I wonder what you named all your other weapons. Throwy thingy?
Actually, that's just Sam that says
Rock
fighty
tosser?
armor.
Yeah, I mean, she seems to be pretty neutral. Requisitioner Selene is hard to read. Bart, you can kind of like see she's very confident and kind of like has this expectation about her that people are going to listen. Sirius, you've been around warriors all your life. This woman looks like she is prepared to leap into combat at any second. You can kind of like see her muscles are tense. She is like, you can see they're also like, she's very thin, but you can kind of like see how dense her muscle is and tell she's someone who would hold herself in a fight quite well.
In an aggressive way, or in a ready for anything kind of way?
In a not necessarily aggressive way, ready for anything and ready to be aggressive way. You could tell she's like could switch to aggression really quick.
Where's Kaylin?
I think Kaylin's probably.
Did they already leave? They haven't left yet, right?
No, they haven't left. There's kind of like, I think Kaylin's probably just got like a tent set up that she's sleeping in right now.
Oh, she's out. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's kind of getting later in the day.
If that's the case, I'll be like, fine. and I'll just hold up the note, but I won't let her grab it.
Are
But you'll
you
let her
like
read
doing
it.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she'll kind of like lean forward and like peruse it and read through it. She says, "Interesting." And she kind of like, I think somebody had asked her if she'd
Her
have.
name.
You asked her if she'd have, her name. That's right. She says,
Any idea on those blank words? Let me know.
"My name's oh fuck, let me get this accent.
She's also from Valinor.
My name's Miso. I work for sort of Mania. I'm well, we're known as Mania's Fist. We do her dirty work. Sora Teresa, these letters that she sent out, she's done this. Well, let's just say not everybody's in the know. Not all the other daughters knew that this was happening.
Well, I can't speak for my acquaintances here, but if you have any insight, more than willing. You probably know this area better than I do.
Let me see. I was reading your letters here.
What's the big deal then? If the other daughters didn't know, but now you, the fist that does the dirty work of the hand of the sister, if you have been sent, then you do know. So what's
Well,
the
yes,
big deal?
I just learned this from Rex, trying to establish what's going on with this caravan. Can I see your letter? Pointing to you, Bartholomew.
No.
She kind of frowns
Does-
and sighs and says, "Fine. I've got other ways of getting the information." And she kind of turns and pivots. And I think with that,
Wait, did you want to see my letter?
I assume that's a no, right?
she didn't say anything else to you guys as she walks away. And we're gonna take a quick break here. Use the restroom, get some water, and return
yeehaw.
to our story shortly as our adventurers head off into the wilds of Droaam.
Cold fun.
Shit, I forgot to make the break scene, so we're just gonna chill out on the cameras here for a hot second.
That's
So just real quick. Break. Insert an image. I hope you all are having fun, chat. I sure am. Here with my friends. Paste. Okay, right click. Order of transform fit to screen. Holy shit, we got ourselves a transition.
Okay, yes. So yeah, you guys are getting packed up, wagon getting ready to go. You plan on kind of sleeping in the wagon as it goes. As you guys are leaving or getting in the wagon, you notice a little mechanical bird that like flies over and sits on the wagon and seems to look at you. Specifically, it seems to stare at Solane, and Solane, you recognize this little mechanical bird. I would say you probably even saw it flying over the canyon, like over the river to you guys. But this is Rifney's bird.
Oh shit! I hold out my arm, like waiting for it to land.
Yeah, it flies down, lands on you. It's a little mechanical bird. Lands on your arm.
All right. What does she want?
Yeah, so the bird like kind of like tweet tweet, loser, and then it like gets up and like flies off.
Useful, bitch.
Bart just fucking starts cackling. Just almost pissing himself with laughter. I would laugh like that, but my baby's
she's
next door.
actually laughing too, like a rare moment where Slade doesn't have the bitch face. Just she's laughing. My
Jeez.
sister. It's we do this. It's fine.
Come back here, bird.
No, it's from my sister. It's fine. It's a
Bird yelling.
Compelled
joke.
duel on the bird again.
Bird yelling.
She's calling me a loser because she's gonna get there before me
Get
It's-
where?
to the delegation.
Ah,
Yeah, the other side of the other side of the delegation's already kind of like packed up to move on to the Great Crag.
Do I see her standing on the other end?
I think you can kind of like see a figure like poking out
Waving.
of like the top of a wagon, kind of waving. But yeah, you like as they're kind of like pulling away, and you see the bird kind of like fly back and land on the arm.
Yeah, I'll wave to her. I've
Um,
got to get her back for that.
You want me to shoot it out the air before it
No,
lands?
no, no.
I'm a trick
Don't.
shot.
You don't shoot my sister's bird.
I
She'll just
offered.
make a more annoying one. I've learned.
So, the wind finally the rain finally dies down. Wind picks up a little bit, kind of bringing a cool chill as the wagon sets off. Which way are you guys headed? To the monastery?
I
the
think we should
Medusa was
go
at the
there.
monastery.
I vote monastery.
It's the closest.
It also has two. If what the guy said is true, it has the dwarf and the gnome.
Yeah, let's go to the
Because they weren't sure they
Yeah.
even got any. He wasn't
That's
sure
what he
if they
said.
even
He
got
said the
anyone.
Medusa was there, right?
Potentially
Well, he
the
said
boss.
that the Medusa leads the gargoyles.
He heard that
Ah.
that group of. I wrote something real fucking quick.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
down with
I thought it was the
the
water
monastery
boys
first.
that totally suck. That
Gurnstone,
had
some monastery. Man, I wrote
Brimstone Keep.
Grimstone.
Can anybody drive this thing?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh yeah. Is there anybody with proficiency in land vehicles?
No.
No, not me.
Nope.
Nope.
Cool.
I mean,
Can
at
we take a
least
driver?
will like
Yeah, I mean-
Sirius has a horse. Like maybe that has something to do with it.
How about you tell your horse to tell
To
these
hitch up.
horses to
I
just
don't-
go?
Think that they communicate like that.
It's a horse.
Yeah, I mean they'll still listen to commands. It's
It's a
basically if you're not
horse,
proficient
chill,
with
we'll
it,
go
it
with
just
that.
means like if you have to like do any kind of like special kind of tricks driving or trying to flee with it, then
When
it
Selene
won't be an
calls
issue.
Animos just a horse, the Animos just comes up and like licks her side of her face.
Oh, fucking horses.
She's just a horse.
Yeah, they're disgusting and smelly, and she'll trudge
Animals are a
off.
lot smarter than you give them any credit
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Show me when they build something.
Have you seen termite mounds? Have you seen dams made by beavers?
Something useful.
Have you seen bird nests?
She's gone. She was walking off. You're talking to her back.
Who is driving the wagon though? As you guys are walking down or going down the road. I mean, imagine Sirius on Animos's back for at least like a chunk
Yeah.
of the time.
Unless I get a 4-hour trance in
Did
the
that
wagon.
half-elf girl decide to come with us?
Was that?
The half-elf girl that we were talking to before, did she decide to come with us, or she
No,
left?
she
Did
seemed to stay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just us.
I would be happy to drive.
Yeah. Sure. Requisition her out in the front.
This is Bassem just. Whoa, what's this head?
Are the other three of you guys, or other three all in the wagon?
Probably.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, I'll
like-
be on it. I'll be on Animos for a while
Is it
until everybody
Okay.
sleeps.
Is it like one of those wagons that has like the like sitting room up top, or is it like is it like domed at the top, or does it have like the kind of like fenced
Oh,
in
it-
top?
The rails.
Yeah, the rails where you can either sit up there or just put your like luggage up there.
It's a bit rounded at the top, but there's enough space where you could like sit up there, set luggage down there if you like strapped it down. There's like little openings in the center of them that kind of open up, so you can crawl up there if you want.
With whatever luggage that either still up there, I'll probably go up top and like fall asleep with my hat over my legs kicked up on a suitcase or something, hat over my eyes, just on top of the thing. A piece of wheat just like sticking out, just like shooey. Wait, but going back to the little thing that you had said to me in the little secret thing, would I have noticed that immediately? Before old girl walked away?
I would say you noticed it like as she was walking away.
Can I retroactively call after her? Just a quick thing.
Yeah.
Just saying, hey, don't work too hard.
I think she kind of like stops a moment and eyes you and smirks, and says,
"You seem to love what you do."
What would she say to that? Yeah, I think she kind of like her accent kind of drops a little bit, and she's just like, "Thanks. Good luck." And just like turns and keeps walking.
So I'm riding on the top of the carriage.
Sure. Riding on top of the carriage. I'm about to drop something down. Oh. I messed up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Oh no.
I did nothing. It's fine.
Our whole campaign is just gone.
No.
Just delete.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Oh wait. Oh no, that's wrong. Damn it. This is all wrong.
Sam, you taking notes?
Yeah, mostly. By mostly, I mean I have a little over a half a page.
Yeah, mine's still blank for today, so.
All right. Here we go.
I got it.
There we go. A few more things marked on your map here.
Cool.
So are you guys, so Grimstone Keep is is from Rex, and a little bit of information you've gotten, is a basically where one of the warlords is. It's a town of sorts, but they usually keep to themselves. And then the monastery that you're told about is further up, away from there. So I guess my question is, are you taking the road and going up to Grimstone Keep before heading to Sacred Stone? Or are you guys just kind of going off-roading and like heading to Sacred Stone that way? You know what I mean?
It might be smart to stop by Grimstone Keep to get supplies.
Yeah, probably.
Especially seeing as how no one knows how to actively lead the horses and tell them where to go.
Yeah.
We should
Fair
probably
enough.
stick to the road to make it easier on them instead of going off-roading in the middle of the desert.
It's just, is it 2 horses or 1 horse?
It's 2 horses.
Okay.
Yeah, just 2 stocky, black-haired horses. Kind of got like long, like thick manes and tails that kind of like almost dread up a little bit. It's so thick and matted. Okay, so you guys' plan is to go to Grimstone Keep?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. So, as you guys kind of you're traveling back down the road, it's the quickest route. You get to the crossroad, headed up to Grimstone Keep. It's kind of late at night now, You think you can get to the keep itself, but you'd be pushing into like it'd be like midnight-ish basically by the time you guys got there. Do you want to camp or keep pushing?
Midnight when we get there.
Yeah, it'd be like I would say it's like 10 p.m. or something like right now. It'd be closer to midnight or so when you got back.
I'd push it.
Yeah, we should just push it. I don't.
And if we
feel
can't
like
get in, then we
out
can
here,
just
we
sleep
don't have
outside.
to.
I was just gonna ask, like, if they close the gates at a certain time, but yeah, just camp outside would probably be safer than at the crossroads.
Having something at our back would be better.
Who all is gonna be leading in the middle of the night? Like,
I
I'm
throw
not-
on my goggles of night.
no, that'll do.
We might have dark vision, but the horses don't.
I'm surely blind out here in the dark.
All right, hold
Does,
on. I can
does
fix
your horse
this.
provide a light, Will?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh wait, I
I
actually
can.
have the light cantrip.
Just
I-
got the
do
light
you?
on a horse.
I can see in the dark pretty well.
You're not the one we're worried about.
I mean, I would imagine I'll be up though, looking. So
Fair.
I pull out my gun.
Okay.
And I rotate the barrels a couple times, and I pull the trigger, and out of the end comes just like a flame, like a lighter. And I use the light cantrip.
oh man,
Okay.
And I make it as bright as it can, and I just like I grab a
Hold
piece
it out,
of
kind of
rope.
like lighting.
No, I grab a
I was
piece
gonna
of
say-
rope and I tie the trigger, and I just like stick it in between a couple of like a couple of boxes, and I go back to lounging.
just have like a headlight for the horses.
I mean it's 20 by 20, so it's a pretty bright little light. Yeah, it's effectively a
About
torch.
headlights, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you guys are traveling night. Wind still blowing. Heading up the road. It's been pretty empty. You haven't really seen any much living creatures other than like the occasional lizards or like birds flying by. Give me let me get some perception checks.
Everybody?
Yeah.
It's not my day.
Tell me about
Oh my gosh, I cannot roll low.
I can't see. I don't have dark vision, so this is.
Yeah, Requisitioner is just really focused on keeping this wagon going.
I
Oh,
don't know how
same as
horses
my-
As
work.
the
and
robot, you don't. They didn't give you night vision? How rude.
I left it out. Blame
I-
Blaine.
I didn't build you, but maybe I can do an upgrade at some point. If we get back to the lab.
What were-
After the
Get him his own goggles. Cool. So, Swain, Raven, and Sirius. Raven, are you inside the wagon?
Probably, but I wouldn't surprise me if I was looking outside at whatever was passing by, because like
Yeah.
I just like to record everything I see if I'm awake. So
Um,
and I don't like being surprised, so I'm out on Animos going back and forth.
yeah. So, yeah. You guys are driving down the road late at night. It's been a long ass day. Mist hanging in the air.
Don't like
And
mist.
Selene, Sirius, Raven, each of you kind of in your own worlds or head as you guys kind of travel. Begin to hear the beating of wings. You don't see anything at first, but they get louder after a moment, and then they almost seem to multiply as you guys begin hearing a kind of chant. Which of these songs am I going to play right now? It's kind of a roulette, so I'm going to play this. And
Are they
yeah.
gonna come out of snapping?
As you look up, you see 4 figures. They seem to be circling slowly. You see 4 people wearing suits, but they have their arms and legs outstretched with almost like wings taut between them that is keeping them like floating and flying down as they like float like down towards the ground, basically. And you see each of these is wearing like these kind of like wild owl masks. They have like feathers on all of their clothes as they kind of like all circle down, coming down like yeah, there's like a few of them snapping their fingers as they kind of like land around your wagon.
Good job just going with it. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them kind of like steps forward and is like, "Ooh, you guys are traveling on the wrong time of night."
Ooh, Daddy-o.
And just kind of like, you know, requisitioner, do you like pull the horses short? Do you like stop the wagon, or you just like kind of keep them rolling as like these people kind of, a couple of them kind of stop at like I guess the front of the car.
I don't know how to stop the horses.
Cool. So you just kind of like keep them rolling, like not even like fast, just kind of like this rolling casual speed.
Yeah,
you're like,
very
I'm not
casual.
sure how to stop them. Sure.
I was actually kind of hoping before they landed if I could cast magic missile and pierce a couple of their wings
Oh,
just
come
to
on.
fuck
I
up their land.
Desperately want to hear what they have to say, though.
Not
I'm
hurt
gonna-
them.
no,
Not
I
hurt
would-
them, just to mess up their landing.
Yeah, if you're specifically trying to shoot at the wings and not them,
Yeah.
your magic actually like hits the little wings and does nothing. It like bounces. Like
Ooh.
the suits are obviously like magically enchanted.
I need to study those.
And the first one kind of like looks annoyed at like the wagon still coming, but he kind of like takes a few steps back, like to keep the distance between you. And
Shimmying
kind of
the
like,
whole way.
yeah, trying to make it look like he's like something he's like wants to do and not something he's being forced to do by you like walking back. And he says, you got something that belongs to us. We've been
No.
tracking it all day.
And what might that be, my good sir?
A token of House Vidalis.
I'm sorry, Daddy-o. What?
Look, we're not answering any questions. So either hand over the token now, or the real storm's about to brew.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
I appreciate the timing.
Oh, snapping with the yeah.
Yeah. Or give it over now.
Let me figure out how to slow this thing down.
How close are they together?
They're pretty spread apart, actually. They're kind of like trying to encircle you guys in a way.
Whoops. I was trying to minimize it. Whoops.
I want to clarify just so that I got this for sure.
Sure.
The wagons, the windows are just like cut out. They're not like glass paned or anything. They're just like holes.
No, yeah, they've got like curtains, but no, there's no glass.
Listen, it's late. We've had a long day. My friends, sorry, I've just met these people. Associates are pretty tired. Some of them are trigger happy. Do you really want to just do this tonight?
Oh, tough guy, huh?
He certainly likes to think so.
I just want to imagine all the other universes where these guys would have been different had you chosen the right music.
Yeah.
And I want to forget those universes immediately and go back to this one. I love it.
This is Turk Final Fantasy straight up.
Oh yeah, it's the Turks music. That's what it was.
It's one of these guys named Reno.
Please let the leader be Reno and let him do something embarrassing.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely, please. That'd be hilarious.
So I think as you're kind of like challenging him, Sirius, he says, "All right, well, let's get the music started." And he like snaps his finger, pointing towards the sky, and then suddenly rain begins dropping from the skies. These clouds begin like swirling above. And we're gonna end our session there.
No, that's just
No!
What the fuck, man?
Absolutely
I can go a little
not.
I can
longer.
go so much longer. I want to know what happens to the.
I need to know what happens with the snapping owl men.
Once you're a bird, you're a bird all the way.
I got so many birds to yell at.
No.
This is a bird-themed campaign. There's nothing
Oh
but
my
birds.
I know. Oh my gosh.
That's true. There's a lot of birds today.
Incredible.
But yeah, we will find out next time about these masked wingsuit Vidalis thugs.
Did their masks look like the Frank's mask?
They look different. They look kind of like they're made out of like maybe similar leather or something, but these look fancier.
More plumage.
Yeah.
Frank was just a
More
low-level
drama.
grunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are a little bit higher up,
He was
I
a
guess.
ground walker. He was a penguin. He was an ostrich. He didn't get his wings yet.
Yeah, Frank didn't even get his wingsuit yet.
Now the Vidalis thugs have to be like completely bird based. Like the leader is like King Eagle. Love it. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Or just
But-
Ice King.
Yeah.
Rock of the Croc.
It's
Bunch of
not the
penguins.
song I was gonna go with, but you know.
That worked out
worked.
So good.
wonderfully. I will tell you what.
You watching Dimension 20 is the best thing to happen to this campaign. I swear.
It's fine.
Just go with it.
'Cause yeah. But yes, we will find out what happens next time. Thank you guys for joining us on our stream. We will see you next Monday around the same time. Hopefully, we'll be able to start a little earlier. We're getting our technical issues figured out still, but
I'm trying.
no, I think you're doing
We're,
great.
we're getting there.
You're doing great.
I mean, I did completely redesign the thing
You're doing great,
in
sweetie.
like 30 minutes. So
It's
Oh my
true.
gosh.
But yeah,
thanks for
thank
watching.
you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks for
and
watching.
Everybody?
I don't have an end screen. I never made an end screen. So we'll
What
just...
is wrong, you mongoloid?
I hope we just make these guys run away and they just keep showing up over and over
my
and over again. Like I don't
That
even
one
want to kill
guy
him
in Witcher
at
that you
all.
can duel over and over in all these different cities because he's
Yeah.
following after you.
Yeah, Owlman's coming back.
I just want them to come back snapping, and we're just like, oh,
The last 3 times were a
Again?
fluke, punk.
Yeah. Oh
like
my
we suddenly
gosh.
hear snapping, and we're like, nope, nope,
Again.
go.
They're like, damn it, not again. Not even fun anymore.
Okay, I'll actually end the stream with this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the
Okay,
subscribe. Thank you for the follows.
What's
Come
up,
back
Scribble?
because I want to watch this stream. Like I'm interested. I'm great.
yeah, I am ready for more.